All right, so here I counted 480 comics. There might be a little more, and there might be some stashed away in another box because I was pressing some of these because there was some highly damaged comics and they needed pressing before I put them in a new bag and board. So I did end up pressing a couple, but I didn't go through all of them. Actually, a lot of them are still in the bags that they were from, and then I just put them in a bag and a board. All the way back to May 22nd is when we found these comic books. It was Victoria Day here in Canada. So my kid and I, as usual, we go to the comic book store, but we decided to check out the flea market. When we got to the flea market, they were closed. And we're like, what the heck? Why wasn't the flea market open on a holiday? Flea market was closed, so we decided to go back home. And on the way home, we're like, hey, there must be some garage sales. It's nice enough outside. People probably be setting up. So let's take a detour from our usual way home and let's go on a detour and we'll hit up a community and check it out. We stumbled upon one garage sale and they didn't really have anything in there. No comics, no magazines, no books. A couple of kids' books, actually. And the owner was nice enough just to give a couple of things to my son. But just literally across the street was another garage sale. The entire garage was filled with stuff. And there wasn't any prices on anything. It was just you had to find the owner, ask how much, and he'd give you the price, and then you pay him the cash and you'd be off. So we were like, this is the one, without even thinking that there was comics in there. Okay, maybe collectibles, whatever. My son found a couple of bins stored away in some shelves. And I mean, the garage was packed full. He found these packed away. So you couldn't even see them. You have to like move stuff. We pulled one off. We started searching. I probably looked at about 10 or 11 comics at that time, just like this. And I seen a couple of rare Canadian variants. I was already like, let's find the owner and see how much they are and buy these comics because this is awesome, without even really checking, because just seeing the condition of the comics was enough for me. And a couple already key comics on the first 10. I think it was more euphoria with the people coming in. Now that we spotted the comics and we pulled them out, people were looking. So I think I was just in a big rush. I ended up searching around for the owner and I found a guy. He wasn't the owner of the comics. He said $1 a piece. And I said, well, that's a great deal. Let me count the comics and I'll be back. Ended up just counting one bin and they were all mixed and matched. It was around 100 comics and there was 4 bins. And so would you take $400? And he said, okay, I'll be right back. I have to ask the owner. I don't know if the owner was his wife or his sister or friend. She was willing to let go of her childhood collection. So that was enough for me to take the whole thing and give her the $400 at that time. It was a good deal because when I counted these comics at the end of the deal, I had over 480 comics here. I got them for way less than $1 a piece. So that worked out really, really well. I found some original receipts inside some of the comics, and there might be more. I didn't go through all the comics. So I love the history when you find an original receipt. It is super cool because it tells you a lot of things. And these 2 receipts, which there probably is more in there, but I found 2. I actually bagged and boarded them. So this one right here, September 18th, 1985, probably being a little girl, maybe with her father or mother, aunt, who knows, right? But whoever she was with, she had $3. And she decided to buy comics with her $3. That is super cool. So this one here had 3 comics, different prices. So different prices on the cover. One, $1.35, and that store charged her 81 cents. Another one, $1.75 for the cover price, and the store charged her $1.05. And then 2 comics at 95 cents cover price, which would be Canadian variants. So we got another receipt right here with a pack of batteries. It was a total charge of $2.45 with 3 comics. Canadian variants again. 2 Canadian variants for they were 95-cent cover price. We know that. And the store charged her 57 cents a pop. So 2 comics for 57 cents, and then another comic for 60 cents. The store charged her with the cover price of $1. So she had $2 to buy some comics. Pops had another $1 to buy some batteries. And there you go. Just so cool. So that's history right there. You can just imagine her as a little girl with her uncle or whoever, could be mother. But the fact is, she got some money and she bought comics with them, and a lot of comics and Canadian variants. So I ended up organizing some of the comics, and they're not in order. There's direct editions in this one. And in this one here, we have all the high-grade comics that I found. So I separated those. And then in here are all newsstand comics. And then in here are newsstand comics with Canadian variants. And then this is my son's pile right here. He wanted everyone to see his pile. And then this was just a surplus of comics because obviously after I bagged and I boarded every single comic, I wasn't able to fit all the comics in. But I love these bins. This is so cool. These bins actually preserved these comics. A lot of these comics are in the 90s, late 80s, and some in 1982. So there's a wide spread in there, but they're definitely your late bronze coppers. It's a really various collection in here. There's a lot I wouldn't collect, but there's a lot I would collect. I guess we'll get through all the comics, but we'll start with my son's stack, and then we'll go through this little stack on the side here, the direct editions, and then we'll go through the minty comics, then we'll go through all the newsstands, and then we'll go through the Canadian variants last. Regardless of the value of the books, I think that the history is what counts here. Plus, looking at the books is a bonus, and it's a lot of fun. I'm not too sure if I was the only one that's seen these comics. She must have took the very, very big keys aside. Either that or somebody came in before me, seen the comics, and then took the big keys. Because a lot of the number ones and the major keys are gone. Maybe she put them aside. Good for her. There are still a bunch of keys in here. There's a lot of good books still. All right, we got the Jungle Book. And this is the Jungle Book comic book. This is from the original 1990s VHS film from the Disney movies, Jungle Book. This is actually a pretty rare find right here because it is in a newsstand. I mean, you can still get it for a pretty good price, but under $1 was absolutely fantastic. All right, we got some Superboy comics here. This is number 5. Not sure what volume, but it is a newsstand. So these are the much later comics that she had. 1993 New Titans. This is not a George Perez cover, but there is a few that are. Nice cover there. Got Superboy number 3. This is in pretty good condition as well. I think that's one of the earlier volumes in the 90s. And Superboy number 2 with that same volume. That's a newsstand. Superboy 26. I believe this is a later volume. Yeah, 1996. Direct sales. Pretty cool comic there. As you can see, my son is a big Superboy fan. We got Superboy 18. This one here is a newsstand. So pretty cool. Superboy number 2, 1994. And that is a newsstand. Very cool. Got Superboy number 4 in the 1994 volume. I believe that was that same volume there. That's also a newsstand. And another newsstand in that 1994 with that same volume. Really like that cover there. We got number 6 in a newsstand. As also in that same volume. In that 94 volume. This is a DC Universe. Nice little find there. Superboy number 12. You can see the DC Universe logo at the bottom. Makes it a little bit more rare. Nice find here as well. Walt Disney comic book. This later became a VHS film. Is now much, much bigger. So it's a great little comic to have. It's not in the best condition, but it is a newsstand. It does have a torn bottom spine there. But nice newsstand there. Good book for my son to hold for 20 years. Let me tell you that much. We got a cyborg cover here of the New Titans 107. So there's a lot of New Titan books. She was a New Titan fan, Teen Titan fan, obviously a Superboy fan as well. Number 14. This one here has a ripped corner, but it is a newsstand. So you still get, a little bit for that down the road. Deathlock 13 in the newsstand. This is a high grade book. Pretty cool. I really like those Deathlock books. The covers are just so awesome in them. And we got a Justice League Quarterly. This one here has the Blue Beetle in the front cover there. Captain Atom as well. Not a high grade by all means. But it is a newsstand, and it will fetch some value down the road. We've got the Hawkworld #1 annual. There you go. That's probably a 7.0 grade around there. A nice little book. Another Superboy 1994 volume. This is a direct sales, so it is not a newsstand. All right, we've got Superboy #5 in that 94 series. This one is a newsstand. Some of that 90s art. More 90s stuff here. Superboy #4 in that earlier volume, 1990. Okay, so he's almost got that run. Superboy #3 in that 1994 volume. That is a newsstand. So these all came from the newsstand, and very, very cool. So year 1, Superboy 1995 annual #2. Very cool pickup there. And that's a newsstand. This is Losing It 4 of 6 Superboy. Very cool cover there. I love that cover. Number 28, 1996, direct issue. Another direct issue, number 27, right there. It's part of that Losing It series. That's number 3 of that Losing It series. And we got Losing It Part 1. Needs to be cleaned and pressed, but this cover is fantastic. Fantastic cover there. That is also a direct comic. So not all were newsstands, but they are nice little grabs. Superboy 24, 1996. That one is not in such good condition. It's got a lot of spine ticks. We got Superboy 22. This one's 1995. This is a newsstand. Pretty cool comic there. And we have Superboy 21, 1995. Future Tense, Part 1 of 3. We've got Superboy 20 in that 1995 volume. Okay. This one's newsstand, number 19. Okay. Pretty cool. We got newsstand number 17, Superboy. This is 1995 volume. The New Titans 102, 93. This one here, the New Titans 95, 1993, featuring Nightwing right there. Pretty cool. We have the New Titans 94, featuring Cyborg. This is an Amenez cover. Superheroes from the Mind of Clive Barker, Hawk'em and Hex, number 5 in the newsstand. Son really liked them. Newsstand there. And then we have number 4, The Incredible Z-Man, Hawk'em and Hex. Okay. And we got number 3 in this newsstand, and she's got Trip and Way over his head. It says down there. That's number 3. And then we got number 2, newsstand. And of course, the number 1 was missing, but there you go. 4 great books right there. All high grade and newsstands. So we'll be in search for that number 1 one day. The New Titans 62. Just wondering if this was a Perez cover. And it wasn't. But it's still a cool cover. And this one here is a George Perez cover. Believe it or not. The New Titans 59. Check it out. That one would have some value already. It's a George Perez cover. Then we have the New Titans 97 from 1993. This is a just a direct issue. Cool cover though. Well, we got through an entire stack of comics. That was a lot of fun. I'm going to hand those back to my kid and put them safely back in his box because they shouldn't be stacked on top of each other like this. That's a bad way of stacking your comics. It was a lot of fun, and we're going to get through all these comics in later episodes. And then, like I said, we're going to end off with those Canadian variants. It's going to be probably a couple episodes just in those ones. If you did enjoy these comics and you did enjoy this episode of that garage sale find from the original owner, please hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. You're going to have a lot of fun here in this channel. All right. We'll talk to you on the next episode.